Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me on YouTube Live today. I trust that this connection will be better than this morning's Insight Timer fiasco. But, everything happens for a reason. So there's a reason why we're meant to be here right now, all together. So I want to reread the cards from Insight Timer because I felt like so many people missed out on the reading today. And a big part of when I do the readings is the interaction back and forth. So if you want to watch the replay of the first one, that was all just like what I got from the cards. But I really like doing the group readings because they bounce back and forth. And yeah, so I want to reread those just to see if something else comes through, if something different comes through. And then I want to talk about the different houses of astrology and where Jupiter may be transiting through your chart. So if you want to have your natal chart up and ready to go, we can chat about where Jupiter might be bringing some blessings, some abundance, some just good overall things, some growth over the next year. So hello, Christine, and hi, Bonnie. Nice to see you, ladies. I apologize about the technical difficulties on Insight Timer today. I don't know what's happening. All I could do is buy a new computer and try again. Do you guys have any follow-up questions before I reread the cards? Do you have follow-up questions about Jupiter in Taurus? Can you hear the music in the background? Is it a good volume? I'm still working out the kinks here on YouTube Live. But yeah, let me know. We're coming into... So like Jupiter is always somewhere in the sky, right? Jupiter is always expanding and growing some area of our life. Jupiter in Aries, to me, felt like expanding our independence, growing our sense of self, getting a bigger picture of who we are. First house themes, Aries themes. You guys are both in embodied astrology. Like think back to our Aries meeting. It was all about the warrior. It was all about the self. It was all about freedom and independence. So Jupiter has been there for a year, making big all of those themes. Maybe that's why Aries season this year felt so big, because Jupiter was also there and then the sun was there, and it was just so much like me. You know what I mean? Music Ishtar, but it's fine to just hear you. I can turn it up a little bit and see if that does anything. So now Jupiter is moving into Taurus. You guys are both in embodied astrology, so think about the Taurus themes of... So Aries represents... Sorry. Moving things around. Aries represents what we are. I am is the tagline of Aries. I am. So Jupiter is expanding what we are, what I am. And now Taurus is I have. So Jupiter is going to be expanding and like making use of what we have. I feel a lot of this energy of like recycling, upcycling, repurposing, and not only too loud. Not only physical things, like, hey, I have this table, so I'm just going to refinish it and use it again. That energy will be strong for the next year. But also, I have this skill. How do I, what's that word? How do I use it? But like grab onto it. How do I, shit. You guys know what I'm saying. Jacqui. Hello, Jacqui. She says, greetings again. Jupiter is more in my 9th house. I'm heading into an appointment, so I thought I'd throw that out there. Today, I'm literally going to go through houses 1 through 12. So if you want to look at your chart now and just find where Taurus is, thank you, Kirby. Yes. How do you capitalize on the skills that you already have? So things like, hey, I'm really good at gardening and I've just been gardening for myself and my family, but like maybe I can use starters and sell them at a farmer's market. Like maybe I can capitalize on my gardening skills because not everyone has a green thumb. So let me start these plants for you and then I'll sell them to you because I could do it anyway. So like let me make a living off of something that I already have. Other skills, like I'm really good at cutting hair, I'm not, I wish I was, but how do I share that skill with the outside? How do I make the most out of what I have that might be second nature for me? We all have access to like our own superpowers, right? I learn about all of that through astrology and through human design. So like what do we natally have available to us that maybe some others don't? This Jupiter in Taurus is going to show us how to grow those things and how to expand them out into the universe. Do you guys want me to reread the cards? I'm just gonna give you guys a yes or no because I want to, but if it's not feeling right, I'll let you guys lead it today. Yeah, what card was it? It was the last card from the Angels and Ancestors deck that reminded me a lot of a session I had yesterday. It was interesting. Christine didn't hear any of them, so yes. Yes, I was having too many issues on Insight this morning. Okay, beautiful. I would love to. That was my intention. So at first, we used Ask Your Guides. I'm not going to show you guys the cards again. We're just going to go through this. If you want to practice claircognizance, you can even go through like each number at a time, right? I think all of you guys were at that finding your inner yes and inner no part of Patreon. So you can go into your inner self right now. We could practice this. I'll go through each card and we'll feel if it's a yes or a no. So however you want to call in your higher self. And this is something, it doesn't need to be like a deep dramatic practice. We'll just do this quick thing. Connect, link. All right, she's there. Does card number 1 hold a special message for me? Yes or no? All right. Does card number 2 hold a special message for me? Yes or no? And does card number 3 hold a special message for me? Did that work? I got hits on 2 of them. Let me know. Let me know if your body told you anything. We are still in Taurus season, so utilize that body. Capitalize on that body. Body, yaddy, yaddy. Bonnie is also going into an appointment, I think. See you later, alligator. Kirby says clear no on 1, clear yes on 2, and a weird maybe on 3. Interesting. So, and let's add another layer of confusion into this reading. The way that we did this reading this morning was asking Pluto which area of our lives need some digging. Like, where do we need to dig into our beliefs? Hi, Doug. Doug sticking with 2 and a strong 3. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Let's read them. Card number 1 today. Pluto wants us to dig into our beliefs around risk. Card number 43. The keywords for risk are curiosity, delight, bliss, and charisma. Life feels good right now, and you're barely scratching the surface of what's possible. Follow your joy guides as they lead you into this new, sensual, and highly appealing territory. Flaunt your sexy self. Flirt, laugh, explore, take your free spirit for a walk on the wild side. Don't be afraid of daring exploits. You need to push the limits past the familiar, the predictable, and the safe, free from fear's grip. This will give you the psychic juice to create. Your joy guide's message is let your hair down and live a little. So when we were on Insight Timer, I was talking about how this is literally just the Pluto telling you, examine your thoughts about risk, especially the fear part. Like, what part of taking a risk brings fear? And then sit with that and dig down into that and see where, this is difficult because I've done the whole reading now and I'm trying to just focus on this one card. But see where those fears are coming from and challenge the fear. Maybe put someone else in your position, take your own personal ego out of the situation and see if the fear is still there. Interesting. Christine, I got a phone call that interrupted me, so I'm guessing all three. Something about this reading today is just not working with you, Christine. Bonnie, you have 5 minutes. Lovely. Christine, lucky number 7. Yeah, 43 is a 7. So Pluto wants us to investigate our beliefs about risk and safety. This was interesting. I like the way that the card said you need to push the limits past the familiar, the predictable, and the safe, free from fear's grip. So what I get from that is that fear lives on this side of safety. So when you push yourself, yeah, that's literally that. Like when you do something that steps out of your boundaries of safety, you don't have any fear. Like fear doesn't live on that side of the boundary. The familiar, fear, wow, interesting. When you stick with the familiar, fear is there. But once you bravely take the step to the unfamiliar, fear doesn't grip you there. Like fear might still be there, but it's not holding on to you because you've chosen to take the step. And the predictable, right? The familiar, the predictable, that's where fear is. I'm going to stay at Taurus. I'm going to stick with my routine. I'm going to do the same thing because it's safe, it's predictable, it's familiar. But stepping on the other side of that, taking a risk to do something new, unexpected, that's where fear no longer controls you. Card number 2 today was number 34, the inverse, which is also a 7. Pluto wants us to dissect our thoughts about deprivation, and we can do so with the help of our prosperity guides. Whether because of a sudden change of circumstance or long-held patterns of lack, you may find yourself feeling overly concerned about your finances and security right now. I'm going to cut here just for a second and say we can apply this to any of those Taurus themes. Don't focus, like if you're not having money insecurities, don't throw this card out. Taurus themes can be your food, your physical body, your skills, how much you value yourself. All right. So if the money thing isn't resonating, pick what does. You might be worrying that there won't be enough to meet your needs, so you're trying to conserve every penny. Your fears may even cause you to unconsciously seek others to reassure you or guarantee your needs in some way. The trouble with allowing these fears to take over is that your insecurity will be felt by others and they will step back, feeling fearful of being used for your security, creating a cycle of even more deprivation. This circle of fear and lack dries up the well of prosperity even further. Happily, your prosperity guides are here to help you reverse this vibration. They inform you that hoarding or withholding in any way goes against the divine flow of the universe, and it is the opposite of what's called for to create prosperity. The universal laws of prosperity state that we receive what we give. The universe does not lack. Lack only exists in our minds. The true source of poverty is an indication that we have disconnected from the divine source, which causes low self-esteem. This is the true source of lack in any area of life, whether it's money, comfort, security, or even love. To get back into the flow of things, your prosperity guides urge you to reconnect to the source by being generous in all ways. Any stingy tendencies, even with yourself, only keep you cut off from divine supply. Reclaim your self-esteem by recognizing that you are a trust fund baby of the universe. Your needs will be easily met if you open your heart to receiving the universe's gifts. Connect to this flow by sharing what you can: a smile, a compliment, your assistance, your time. Your prosperity guide's message is: tap into the abundance of the universe by sharing your heart. So Pluto wants us to dive deep into our beliefs about what we don't have enough of. Breaking apart all limiting beliefs about I don't have enough money, or I don't have enough love coming to me, I don't feel comfortable or safe with XYZ. Pluto and our prosperity guides want us to dive into those beliefs to figure out where they're coming from. When we hang on to the beliefs that we don't have enough, it is nearly impossible for us to give. But that's how the flow of everything works. The more you give, the more you get. But like if you are in that mindset of I don't have enough, then you want to hoard and you don't want to give any of yourself. But all you're doing in that situation as well is blocking the flow coming to you. There's like less coming through right now because I read these all already. But so Pluto first wants us to dissect our thoughts and beliefs about taking risks in relation to being deprived of something, being deprived of time. Ooh, that's something that's big for me. It's hard for me sometimes to commit my time because I feel like I don't have enough. But the more I do give my time to others, the more I feel like things just get done. And I don't feel like I have to rush through to get everything done. But the last card number 3 from this reading, is number 37, creativity. So Pluto and our creativity guides want us to dive into our thoughts about creativity. The keywords for this card are patience, practice, reevaluation, and assessment. Your creativity guides are advising you that there is no way to avoid risk if you want to live a creative life. Stop worrying about making right and wrong choices and view all of them as creative opportunities. Be glad you have the freedom to make choices at all, and realize that no matter what you choose, you'll create something. If you don't like the result, then simply go back to the drawing board and make new and hopefully better choices. Your creativity guides remind you not to look at life in terms of black and white, me against you, all or nothing. You are a creative spirit regardless of what is going on in your life. Assess your creations with appreciation and respect. Whether good, bad, or indifferent, they all reflect your creativity. Celebrate everything you enjoy and don't fret over the rest. See your less desirable creations as interesting rough drafts and follow your creativity guide's advice. Go back to the drawing board. the reading asked Pluto to help us, like, what do we need to, what beliefs do we need to dive deep into to get to the core of what our beliefs are? Do you believe that you create your own reality? And sometimes we create things that aren't in alignment with what we want because we have these, maybe these limiting beliefs of deprivation. We believe that we're not worth a certain amount, so we end up creating a situation for ourselves and we're like, well, that's not what I wanted at all. But we are master creators, master manifestors, whatever you want to call it. Like, we all have the ability to create our own reality. So when you find yourself in a situation that's not your number one choice, go back to the drawing board. It's frustrating. It's okay to feel the frustration. Just don't lament on it. Go back to the drawing board. So right now, with Pluto in Aquarius squaring Taurus, Jupiter in Taurus, it's like Jupiter wants to bring us all of these blessings in the Taurus areas of our life: money, skills, what we value, resources, our body, our food supply. Jupiter wants to bring in all these blessings. But Pluto at first is like, hang on, we need to dive into our thoughts about the future. Aquarius, right? Aquarius deals with the future. It's an air sign. Pluto wants to break down all of that. It's like a halt, like that square energy as Jupiter walks into Taurus is like, hang on, this first, then you can bless all of these areas of your life. So what is it that you're afraid to take a risk on? What are you afraid of losing? How do you think you'll feel deprivation if you take a risk? And why don't you believe that you create your own reality? These are not questions that I think that you can answer right here on the spot, but these are things that Pluto is inviting you to ask or to think about right now. Challenge your thoughts, challenge your beliefs, because if it is a true belief, it will be empowered and it will stay. But if it's found to be self-limiting beliefs that only serves your ego and doesn't truly serve your higher self, then it will be let go so that a new thought and a new higher belief can be implemented and empowered. Christine says, but I do have fears around saying no for my own sanity. In what context? Like, what made you bring that up with this reading? You think you take too many risks? Bonnie, the answer that I have to that question is that I'm not, what did I ask? What fears do you have around, or like what thoughts do you have about this stuff? I'm not the only one making these decisions. These are things going on, but I want to make happen and cannot make them happen because I am not an island. I hear you. Let me sit with that for a second. Maybe the risk isn't about moving. Maybe the risk is about the way that you act in your relationship. I don't want to give relationship advice here. But maybe it has to do with Bonnie. Are you afraid of like saying something in a certain way because you think that you'll be deprived of like love or something? You get what I'm saying? That was just a question. Christine, the only comment I see above says lucky number 7, and then you also said about getting the phone call that interrupted you. I'm a little confused. And Bonnie, if I'm way off, I'm way off. But we also asked the Angels and Ancestors deck for how, right? Like, cool, you want me, Pluto, you want me to dissect all of these thoughts and beliefs that I have? How the fuck do I do that? Like, how? Well, how do I even start? The card that came out from that is the Mirror Guardian. So Pluto wants you to take time to reflect. I love this message. Take some time to reflect on your strengths and your challenges and how far you've come. Recognize your gifts. Angels accept you just the way you are. Even when you are going through a challenging time, they still hold you in the highest esteem. The mirror guardian, a female angel looking into the mirror of life, invites you to witness your spiritual strength and beauty, to see yourself as angels do. The mirror represents the fact that your core beliefs and ideas are in fact what is reflected back to you by your world. Your life is one big mirror of how you feel within, and the mirror guardian helps you recognize that. When this card appears, you are being invited to take some time to see where you are right now. You are a beautiful being who has surmounted so many challenges and expanded in so many ways. Your angels are now guiding you to take inventory of your life, to take the time to note all of your recent experiences, the challenges you have surmounted, the strengths you have developed, and the lessons you have learned. Your angels want you to reflect on your strengths, in particular, those aspects of yourself that you feel have not been acknowledged by others. Offer yourself approval where it's due, and know that when you give yourself credit, others will be able to as well. I want to make note that this card is on page 110, which is an 11, and then 111, which is just the angel numbers and stuff. So that's cool. But what I get from this card is the whole thing that we are living in right now was created by us. I even have this like radical belief, and it's fitting to throw it in here right now. I am, oh my God. And like all the things that we've been told throughout our lives are like presumptuous to say or like conceited to say. I feel like all of that is truth, and we were just made smaller to not think that. But here's my belief. I am the only person that exists in my universe. You are the only person that exists in your universe. All of the other people are literally just like holograms, just actors, players to help you experience self-love, to help teach you how to love yourself by loving them, vice versa, and all that stuff. Why did I say that? Your mirror guardian, so like life is all reflected back to you. So if you're having an issue with something, it's because you have an issue with yourself. However, instead of lamenting on everything that you don't like, the mirror guardian invites you to look at your current situation and celebrate yourself. Celebrate your wins. Celebrate your growth. Whatever situation you don't like right now, I invite you to look at maybe not this exact situation, but like the similar area of life, the skills that you need to get to where you want to go that you can't quite get there yet. Like reflect on fucking 12 years ago, Jupiter and Taurus, 12 years ago, 2011, right? Where were you in that time? What have you gone through? What have you overcome? What have you grown in yourself? And spend some time just like giving yourself a attaboy. Good job. You've grown. Because there is such this drive and desire to always achieve more and get more and ascend and go and move forward and blah. And like I'm guilty of that too. I'm guilty of preaching that on here, like, oh, just go forward, just go. And you don't need to look back and like looking back and saying, oh, I should have done it this way. That doesn't really serve your highest good. It can for a moment to just like reflect, okay, I got it, move on. But looking back and saying like, I did it this way. I did that. I made that. And allowing yourself to reflect on your whole experience. That might help you reflect on your beliefs about taking risk, being deprived of something in your life, and your ability to create. Bonnie says, I'm not afraid of anything. I am respecting others' boundaries. Then maybe the fear lies in what happens if you cross the boundary. Christine, I'll post again, but what you just said to Bonnie hits home for me. Christine says, I said, I'm always giving, and I just said no to my sister's needs. My fear was telling her no. She takes and takes, but gives nothing back to me. I wanted to finally honor my own needs. I hear you. My first question was, if you are giving, the receiving is coming, but why are you not noticing it? What is blocking you from receiving? What belief is blocking you from receiving? Might not be from her, right? If you're always giving to one person, it might not be that one person who's giving back to you. But just in general, like that's a law of the universe. What goes around comes around. Like what you put out has to come back. So if you don't feel like you're receiving it, what is blocking? But there is a time, to set your own boundaries. If you feel like you're just going, it's okay to say no. It's okay to pause. Maybe to reflect on how you've grown, where you've been. That's good. I love the back and forth. That's what I missed this morning on Insight Timer. And my intention was to just reread these cards and jump into Jupiter through the houses. But here we are, 30 minutes in. This is good, though. I'm glad. And I hope that this is helping move some things around. Let's talk about Jupiter in specific. So if you want to tell us which houses in your chart Taurus rules, it could be one house, it could be two houses, it could be three houses. It all depends on how your house system is laid out. But I'm going to go houses 1 through 12. I'm just going to talk about all of them, what Jupiter may be expanding through the Taurus themes, and we'll go from there. But I want to hear from you guys. What areas of your life might we be working with? So you can look at your chart, and Taurus is usually like a little circle with the bull horns. If you're using astro.com, he's going to be green. And then just look for where Taurus's 30 degrees are, and then follow the pie piece up to the center and look at what houses are there. So very often in the Placidus tropical astrology, the houses do not line up with the start and finishes of the zodiac signs. So that's why if you see Taurus and then there's like a line that comes to the weird middle of Taurus, you're going to look at what house is on both sides of those lines. And then sometimes you can have a whole house inside of one sign. So that would give you like house 3, 4 might be completely engulfed, and like 5 is that. Christine says Taurus mostly in house 3 and some of 4. My moon is in 3. So just know too that as Jupiter passes over all of these degrees, he's going to be passing, like he's going to be expanding your moon. I don't care where Jupiter is in your chart right now. We're not going there. That can get like super confusing because whatever, but Jupiter is passing over Taurus. So right now we're just focusing on where Taurus is in our chart. So if Taurus is passing over your first house, if Taurus is in your first house, if Jupiter will be there. So Jupiter is going to be in Taurus for 1 year until May of 2024. First house has to do with your sense of self, your personality, and your physical appearance. So Jupiter in Taurus over the first house can be expanding how you take care of yourself, like giving you abundance in how you care for your body, how you see yourself. It can be giving you opportunities to like be more, to present yourself more to the world. So if you have been a person who kind of like hermits away, Jupiter passing through your first house can help you to feel just more sure of yourself and willing to show up. Doug says Taurus in the 12th house. Beautiful. Marlene says Taurus takes the 6th and 7th house. Cool, cool, cool. So if Taurus is in your second house, that came out weird. That sounded weird when it came out. If your second house is within Taurus, if Taurus is in your second house, Jupiter will be passing through your second house during his time in Taurus. The second house is the house that is ruled by Taurus. So this has to do with our money, our values, our skills, and our material belongings. So Jupiter is just going to be bringing those extra, like it's going to be like supercharging the Taurus themes of money, personal belongings, your skills, your values. It's just going to be like double amplified. So this could be a big year of like your resources are just in your face. Like things might always be changing. Like you may be getting opportunities left and right to like use your skills, to build on your skills. This is also, so the second house also rules our insecurities, where we think we lack. So Jupiter could come over the second house and expand those insecurities to make you feel so small for a certain amount of time until you're able to flip over and then be very secure with those parts that you used to be insecure about. Because as Jupiter expands, he also gives love. He also brings abundance and blessings to the areas. Christine, well, this makes sense. Third house communication, relationship with siblings. That's where I got this energy to communicate no to my sister. And Taurus is Jupiter isn't even in Taurus yet. We still got 2 hours until Jupiter actually enters Taurus, but the energy is there, right? So thank you for that lead in, Christine. The third house, if Jupiter is passing through your third house while he moves through Taurus, the third house has to do with your thoughts, your ideas, how you communicate with people in your life. The third house also deals with your siblings. Your siblings are represented there. Your neighbors are represented in the third house, and also short distance travel. So Jupiter could come and expand your thoughts about your security, the way that you talk about the things that you have. This might make it more prevalent to you about why you describe your situation the way that you describe it. Bringing abundance to your communication. So this might like open the flow of being able to tell people what you're really good at. Yeah, your skills, right? Your Taurus skills, and talking about it. Letting yourself tell the world how great you are at what you really are great at. And the siblings part. So third house also has to do with siblings. So this could be bringing blessings to, let me get the Taurus in there. Like the basic necessities of the siblingship, right? Taurus is all about that basic first step, like who has the hierarchy of needs, but it's like step 1. Like you need food, water, and shelter. You need basic respect in your relationship with your siblings. So this could, passing through your third house, could bring that like base level respect boundaries for your siblings. If Taurus rules your fourth house, if Jupiter will be passing through your fourth house in the next year, fourth house has to do with your home. So this could be your family of origin. Fourth house is also a lot about our private life, our inner world. Fourth house is ruled by Cancer. So think about that Cancer crab shell, like going in. So Jupiter in Taurus passing through the fourth house can look like bringing expansion and growth into your inner world and using that to help others. That's what I see. Like using your inner revelations to be turned into skills that you spread out to the world. So instead of just like being in your inner self all the time and thinking like, oh, I'm different, I'm processing, I'm being alone, Jupiter's going to come here and say like, it's okay, open your heart to everyone. Expand that out, shine that out, and that will help others. And then that's going to be how you can develop some of your skills along this time. Yeah, because all that introverted stuff, it's all skill building. It's not being weird or like a loner or anything. It's all about skill building. But your home as well, your family of origin, this could be expanding what you value about your family of origin. This could be bringing some, like shining a really lovely light on where you came from, your roots, and helping you to find just what you really enjoy about what may have not been the perfect upbringing. Yeah. If Jupiter is passing through your fifth house has to do with children, your creative pursuits, creating the life of your dreams. The fifth house rules are joyful experiences, romance, play. Yeah. So Jupiter in Taurus expanding the fifth house. Jupiter bringing abundance and growth to your creative pursuits, getting really like refined. If you're in the process of making art or something else, you know, if it's like woodworking or if you're making music or if you're making like, I don't know, something, just creation is literally everything. But I see Jupiter moving through your fifth house and like helping you refine all of those skills, helping you get really intense and nitpicky with the little things that the little details that go into your creative pursuits. Those will be just exaggerated. Your children, Jupiter in Taurus, fifth house, children, they might need a little more nurturing during this time. Your children might be relying on you a little bit more for their basic needs, or vice versa. Like this might be a time where your children help you realize those basic needs within yourself. Not to use your children to like get that base love for your own inner child that you never really filled up. Don't do that to your kids. But they like just watching their joy and their playfulness during this time might help you realize like, oh, that is already inside of me. I do already have all of that love. And then being able to open that flow of currency and give it and get it from them. Did someone say sixth house? Yes, Marlene. All right, so sixth house. Jupiter passing through Taurus in the sixth house, expanding daily routine, service to self, service to others, and your physical health. So Jupiter expanding, Taurus, the physical body. I see so much physical body in the sixth house, especially because the sixth house is another earth sign. Sixth house is ruled by Virgo. So Jupiter can bring blessings to your healthy body. This could be a time where if there is a situation with your health that you've been working with, Jupiter may make it a little bit bigger for you just so you're able to see it. So if it does start to balloon, just acknowledge it. Let Jupiter know, like, okay, I see what you're doing. You're bringing this to my awareness. I understand that you want me to look at this. Look at it. And then Jupiter will be able to come and soothe over all of the issues with his blessings and his abundance. Service to others, Virgo is the sign of service. So this could be bringing you a lot of opportunities to help others, either food wise, right? Taurus food wise, like maybe donating to a food bank or like volunteering at a kitchen or something might bring you a lot of satisfaction in this time. Or being able to help others realize their own intrinsic value, their own skill set. And vice versa too, because Virgo doesn't have to always be service to others, service to self. This could be expanding your ability to really see what the value that you bring to this world. Daily routine, this is like how you structure your day, how you flow through your day, the little details of like from 7 to 8 I meditate, and from 8 to 9 I journal, and from 9 to 10 I travel to work. Though like you might come to some realization that there's a kink in your day, that the energy is kinked in some way, and it might become very prevalent, and you're just like, what the hell? Like, why did I not see this for the last 8 years? Like, I don't need to be doing, maybe not 8 years because the world got super weird the last 3 years. But like, why haven't I realized until now that making this one little change can affect my whole day, can impact my whole day? And this, I'm seeing it have to do with exercise for some reason. Maybe it's just for Marlene, I don't know. But I'm seeing some kind of like exercise either lacking or a different kind. Might be like, whoa, that's the exact change that I need right now. And Jupiter might make it a big deal, you know, like Kool-Aid Man. He might pop in through the wall like, hey, look at this right now. And you're like, come on. But that's, yeah, it just needs to be seen in order for it to be changed. If Jupiter in Taurus is passing through your 7th house, your 7th house is the house of partnerships. Excuse me. One-on-one relationships, whether they are romantic, platonic, or business related. 7th house does not have to do with family. So this is outside of your family. The 7th house also has to do with legal matters. It's the house of Libra, the judge, the balancer. So Jupiter passing through Taurus through the 7th house can show you how to utilize your relationships to your benefit. Can expand, and this might be someone that you meet for the first time. I see this more as like clicking, that you can do a relationship a different way. Like you can utilize the skills of someone else to build upon your skills to become like a power couple of sorts. And this doesn't need to be your romantic partner. It could be, you know, like a friendship or whatever. But I'm seeing this as like, whoa, we both want the same thing for the world. Like, why don't we put our skills together and go achieve that? So that's a big theme. Jupiter in Taurus in the 7th house the next year. And then also legal matters. If you are going through some legal stuff right now, Jupiter can show you a different way of handling the situation. He can expand your skill set, Taurus, in legal matters. So this might be, you're welcome, Marlene. This might be understanding that the court system uses maritime law and like learning how to dissect all of the wording that's all made to just like throw us off, and finding a different, like expanding your skills, like understanding that you have more power with legal matters than we've all been brought up to believe. Like we are a lot more sovereign than we've been told that we are. So Jupiter through the 7th house, if that's occurring for you, can show you like, oh, maybe I don't need to just succumb and submit to the court system. Maybe there's other ways around this whole process. Eighth house. If Jupiter is moving through Taurus through your 8th house, the 8th house is the house of Scorpio, which is opposite of Taurus. So if Taurus is all about like your safety, security, your money, your skills, 8th house has to do with the shared resources, shared finances. This could do with loans, with taxes. And then this is also like sharing yourself with another. So this is where intimacy comes into play. Sex is represented in the 8th house. And it's also where the death and rebirth cycle happens. So Jupiter moving through Taurus in the 8th house. This might expand like your value of the other who helps you with shared resources. I'm seeing this as like having a deeper but it's not appreciation, it's value. Like I'm seeing like you've had this gift available to you, like someone keeps trying to give you money and you keep saying no. And finally Jupiter is here and they're like, take the freaking money, like just accept the gift. That's what I see this as. Or like you've had that email subscription about like how to lower your loans, or like how to turn your assets into precious metals and that kind of stuff, and you're like, no, it's fine, I got it. But then now Jupiter is moving into the 8th house, and Jupiter's like, just accept the help, like let someone assist you with the ties that you have to other people financially. Intimacy and sex, Taurus, Jupiter expanding the value that you find in opening up and being vulnerable with other people. It can really be a time of understanding and like feeling the gratification from showing all to another. Death and rebirth, Jupiter, Taurus, death and rebirth. Just seeing the value of letting stuff go. This could be a huge year of releasing friendships, releasing patterns, releasing objects. Taurus, releasing. This could even be like releasing the need to build on a skill that doesn't really serve your highest good. Allowing things to go. And then before Taurus finishes through your 8th house, I think you'll start to see the rebirth process. You'll start to see the new budding delights that are coming. All right, Jupiter moving through the 9th house in Taurus. The 9th house is where we learn about spirituality. It's like the higher mind, the higher thinking, where we develop our philosophies. And the 9th house also has to do with travel. So either like over the seas travel, like very long distance travel, or travel within ourselves to develop our own philosophies and understandings of the world. So Jupiter moving through Taurus through the 9th house can look like giving growth. Oh, this is a difficult one. Let me sit with this for a second. Taurus. Resources. Yeah, finding new ways to educate yourself about what the hell this incarnation is all about. Jupiter will bring you tools, resources, books, experiences, trips, just something to help you grasp a new understanding of how you create philosophy. Like, what is your philosophy on life? Jupiter's going to let you explore all of that this year. He's going to just give you, like, I feel like you're going to get like a phone call from a friend who says like, hey, let's go to Italy for no reason. And like your intuition's like, I kind of want to go, but I don't know, but yes, let's do it. And then you go, and then that ends up like shifting your whole perspective on what the purpose of this whole life is. This can also bring you some resources to, but why? Resources to expand your beliefs about like the religion that you may have grown up with, or the belief system that you may have grown up with, just to give you a different perspective, maybe to expand what you've known about that part of your life and to see it from a different angle. Hello, Empress from South Carolina. We're in the process of going through all of the 12 houses of astrology to describe wherever Jupiter will be moving through your 12 houses within the next year. If you know how to look at your natal chart and look at where Taurus is, you can tell us which houses Taurus rules within your chart. And then I can go back and review for you. But we just finished houses 1 through 9. We'll talk about if Jupiter will be transiting through your 10th house through Taurus. The 10th house has to do with your career. 10th house is public appearance, your status, your reputation, your fame and honors. The 10th house also has to do with like how you regulate yourself, how you keep yourself limited so that you don't spiral out of control. So by Jupiter in Taurus passing through the 10th house, expanding on your skills in your career, like finding a way to either take a new training or build on a skill that you've had, like finding a way to amplify a skill that you've been using to make money, to make a difference in the world. And Jupiter's just going to come and say like, here's a new workshop that you can go to. Here's, maybe introducing a new skill, like, hey, have you ever thought about using this for your job instead of what you've been relying on? Here's something new, and see how that takes you higher, right? That might even help you to achieve some honors in your work. What else? Your public appearance, Jupiter moving through the 10th house. If you're trying to like build your business, if you're trying to expand your like standing, like if you're trying to like get more followers on the internet and that kind of stuff, Jupiter moving through the 10th house is definitely going to help you with that energy. It's just going to let you be more out there, letting the world see you for what you have to offer, what skills you can bring to the world. 11th house, Jupiter, if Jupiter's moving through the 11th house has to do with your community, society, your social groups, and the 11th house also rules your ideas about the future, your goals for the future, how you see your future going. So Jupiter expanding your Taurus skills that benefit your community. This may be like I mentioned, I forgot what house I was talking about, but like, oh, I'm really good at gardening, so I'm going to start all these seedlings. And this time, instead of selling them to make money, if Jupiter's moving through your 11th house, this can look like, hey, I have this skill and I'm going to teach the community how to do it. I'm going to give to my community. I'm going to start the community garden because that's what I'm good at, and that's going to benefit my community. Jupiter moving through the 11th house in Taurus can also expanding our goals for the future, our ideas for the future, how we view our future. So seeing how your skill set literally fits into your idea for the future. It might help click things into place a little bit more, that you're able to actually visualize like, oh, if I build on this thing that I enjoy working on for myself, I finally see now why this is beneficial for the good of humanity. I finally understand now why this is something that I'm drawn to, because I'm meant to use this for a higher purpose. Like this Jupiter moving through your 11th house can help you realize like, oh, that's why I want to do this so much. And for Doug, Taurus in the 12th house, Jupiter moving through your 12th house. The 12th house has to do with the layers of your ego that you're stripping away. This is where you go for like your spiritual rebirth. It's the house of solitude. It's really like the house of death before you rebirth anew into the first house. So Jupiter expanding Taurus. Oh, this is like shadow work central for you this year. You're going to get so good at your skills of going into your inner child to heal that, going into your shadow to say like, I don't need to be afraid of that part of me anymore. I don't need to hang on to these beliefs about myself. This is a huge year for you, especially Doug, to just like let go of the ego. Like, let go of the fears that are holding you back, that are keeping you small. And this, like, Jupiter is bringing these situations to light. It might come in the form of, like, someone really pisses you off and you don't understand why the feeling is lingering. Like, it's something that you used to be able to just brush off, but for some reason, this one person, like, you wake up every morning and you think about them and you don't know why their actions just irked you. Jupiter can expand it in that way to then have you come to the realization in your own time, like, oh, well, maybe I should work on when I have wronged people in the way that they wronged me, or something along those lines. Yeah, this could come as like a big, I'm seeing big emotions, big, like, just to shake you into understanding why you need to do that type of shadow work. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. And also, your spiritual rebirth, your solitude, Jupiter expanding, Taurus. I can see also a time of like shadow work for your physical body. This can be a time of saying, like, I am done having pain in my left knee. Like, I'm done. I've had it for so long. What do I need to explore emotionally about the feminine receptive side of moving forward? And just get to the bottom of it and let Jupiter help you out with that. So that was the 12 houses. Let's see. Empress says, I was born a Taurus, May 5th. Happy belated birthday. Don't know much else about astrology. If you want to, real quick, Empress, just to hop on, you can type in Google free birth chart. It might be too much to explain. I've been here for an hour. I hope you join us again, because I talk about this all the time. It's really not that complicated to me, I guess. I try to put it in a way that's easy to understand for everyone. But for the time being, if you want to go, I use astro.com, astro.com. Throw in your birth information. It's going to look like a crazy, weird circle with a whole bunch of symbols on it, and you might not understand how to pick it apart just yet. But keep coming back with us here at YouTube Live. I'm also on Insight Timer often. It's a free meditation app. But yeah, I'll help you decode it and figure it all out. But for today, that's what I got. Those are the 12 houses. Maybe feel free to like save this video somewhere and look back maybe in 6 months to see how you've been progressing. Also know that if Taurus has to, like, if Taurus lies within 2 or more houses, like if you have the sign of Taurus and then one of the houses falls in the middle, excuse me, at some point Taurus or Jupiter will shift from the first house into the second house. So there's going to be a shift in that energy as well. And if you'd like to get specific with it, we can dive into that another day. But Christine says, my son was born on May 5th. Happy belated birthday. Look at the synchronicities. I love it. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys. If you would like to subscribe to my newsletter, or if you'd like to throw me a PayPal donation today, I have the links pinned up at the top of the chat. They're also in the show notes for this. My link tree is there if you want to see all of the other things that I'm doing, if you want to follow me on socials, just to keep in touch. But I appreciate you guys being here today. And I don't know when I'm going to be back on YouTube Live, but I'll be on Insight Timer on Friday. And this was nice. How was the technology here? Was my technology completely fine? Mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. You do the same thing in 2 different places and one is different. You are very welcome, Christine. She says, thank you, Jackie. That was a lot of info. This is what I love doing. And it was actually fun. It's like a quiz for me to try to piece this together on the spot. But I hope that those explanations helped you a little bit. I hope that you have like an idea of what's to come. Bonnie mentioned, I didn't read the comment when she said it because I was in my flow. She said, no kidding about the children needing me. That's been a lot this time around. I love it. Christine says, technology has been great. Awesome. Cool. All right, guys, I will catch you on the flip side. Thanks for being here with me today. Sending love to all. Namaste.